guys, long time no see. It's me, Diana Carolina, coming to you back in Melbourne, and it is really hot today. It's really hot today. I think it's like starting to be spring now. Currently in like the last days of September, so I guess that tracks. As you can see, I've been traveling in Asia, predominantly just Thailand, and then a little bit of Malaysia, but I'm back in Melbourne now, and I kind of just want to touch on the housing situation here because I've just heard stories about it. I remember like before I came here, I would just hear stories about the housing situation and the rental situation and how it's so hard to find houses and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, it can't be that bad. Like, I've lived in major cities before. Can't be much worse. But that being said, the infrastructure for those cities is pretty well developed compared to Australia. Australia has a very small population compared to the USA. And on top of that, there's not that many housing projects compared to the USA. So in that way, there is a shortage of homes available to people, and that makes it very difficult for people like me or people in general to find an affordable and safe home. So actually, I kind of studied this, so I did do a little bit of a research on it. But that being said, my housing situation in Melbourne was so complicated. I got really lucky. Like, I first came here and I stayed at an Airbnb because I just wanted something like secure, paid, like set in stone when I got here. I booked it for 2 weeks, and with those 2 weeks I was kind of just like a little bit stressed because the entire time I was like, okay, maybe I should apply to like realestate.com or like apply with a real estate agent, all of this stuff. And then like my friends that I knew that were here, they were like, oh, have you heard of Fairy Floss? So then like I started going on Fairy Floss, and Fairy Floss is like a platform on Facebook, like a page on Facebook where people post available rooms. And so then I would go and meet with them. And it's kind of like an interview process, like, will you mesh with this house? Are you clean? What's your age? Etc., etc. And there's so many people wanting to get into those homes. Like, you just see that there's tons and tons of like likes and messages, and like I've talked to people on the other side of it, and they're like, yeah, we get like so many messages, like can't respond to them all. So I don't take it personally if they don't respond to you, because it's like there's just so many people applying. But yeah, so I got an Airbnb, and then I got really lucky. I got this like sublet that was supposed to turn into like an actual lease, but birds. But I don't know, like I had like a weird situation with the landlord. So yes, then I found a place in the city, like a CBD apartment with like a pool, sauna, all this stuff. But I actually hated it. Like, I hated being in the city. It just like made me feel like cooped up and stressed. I don't think I'm necessarily like a big live in the city kind of person. I'm just gonna be doing this every once in a while. And then I just decided I didn't want to live there. It was kind of like a flexible contract. I found it again through like Facebook. And then I decided to go back to like the original neighborhood that I was in, except this is the dumb part. So like, if you want to take away a lesson from me, like, secure a contract and make sure that you are approved prior to moving into a place. Don't just like go all willy-nilly like, oh yeah, it's gonna work out, because that's not how it should work. Like, you should like have a contract set in stone beforehand. And it's not to say that these people screwed me over, but it's kind of just like, I did not like how it was handled. So I moved into this like share house, and a share house in Australia means like you just have roommates. I don't think we have that word in the US. And so yeah, I moved all my stuff. They were like, yeah, you can move in, no worries, like you just pay your rent, the utilities, etc. I did that, it was good to go. Like, I lived there, like, it was no issue. But then the issue was that apparently I needed approval from the landlord and the rental agency, and at that moment I didn't have like a proof of income. And so they denied me, and I just found that really hard because I had already moved all my stuff in, and then I just had to like leave. So anyway, lesson learned, always get a contract. Don't just take people's words, you know? So that leads me into my my last place, which I found on a website that is also useful here in Melbourne, Australia, called Flatmates.com. Okay, I'm back and I changed my hairstyle. So yeah, as I said, Flatmates, Flatmate finders, very Floss, I guess to a lesser extent. If you want to work with real estate agents, by all means. I genuinely did not have a good time with them, you know. There's just a lot of calls and like miscommunications and all this stuff, so I'd rather go with a private landlord, and that's who I'm currently renting from. He's a private landlord. Very responsive, very responsible about his property. 100% would recommend that. I think it's a little different in Australia compared to the US because I feel like real estate agents kind of help you out a little bit more over there. Here it's like the Wild West. The housing crisis in Melbourne is crazy, and I'm gonna show you some clips of like me attempting to find a home. So I'm in Balaclava right now. I had to start doing inspections again, but it sucks. So here I am checking out my first. It's somewhere here. And the TV works and everything?
TV works, has a Chrome.
Should I know about the place?
About the place.
Yeah.
Like the place is pretty deep.
Utilities and
So the
all
utilities are usually like.
Okay, I really like this place, but it's really small and it's in Carlton. The con about that place was that it kind of has like a hotel-like vibe. But here in Carlton, really pretty. Just had another inspection. This time I'm in Brunswick. It was okay. It was quiet. It's like a nice something like this. But I just found it to be a little bit. I don't know if I'd quite be the good fit for this place. And it was, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Perfect. Okay. As well. Yeah. That's pretty good. Okay. Another place I'm looking at. This time it's in Collingwood. Just to remember. Do you have a dishwasher or anything? It's pretty cool. Very interesting apartment structure. Yeah, now this is Kilda East, and I'm gonna check out another spot. Yeah, it's just not looking good. The statistics are like really bad here in Melbourne. So anyway, if you like this video, if you're from Melbourne, or if you're planning on coming to Melbourne, I guess hit the like, hit the subscribe button, maybe leave a comment. That way the algorithm keeps on showing up in the feed. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. See ya.